Hi, welcome to the Post Point Podcast, where we're going to be talking about Oscar predictions and Oscar nominations. I'm Alec Jensen, this is Victor, and Lexi.
Alright, so we're going to go off of just kind of the nominations, off of like the most relevant, important ones, because I don't think either of us watched Best Live Action Short Documentary, any of those.
You're right.
All great, probably, but none of us know about them. So we're just going to go off of like Best Leading Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress, Best Picture, Directing, maybe a few more.
Yeah.
all right. So just what's the first one?
So, performance by an actor in a leading role. We have Antonio Banderas in Pain and Glory. We have Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Adam Driver in Marriage Story. Joaquin Phoenix in Joker. And Jonathan Pryce in The Two Popes.
Okay. I haven't seen the majority of those, actually.
Trying to do that. Slightly.
But I do think that I do like Joaquin Phoenix, Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I did like the scenes where Leo was actually playing a character within the character.
Yeah.
In that movie. As a general character in that film, I haven't seen any of the other ones. I still need to watch Marriage Story. I've watched clips of Marriage Story of like the fights.
Yeah.
I do think Adam Driver does a really good job there.
Yeah, I definitely think it's gonna come down to Joaquin Phoenix and Leonardo DiCaprio, although I personally would really like it if Adam Driver won. But I think that I think the Academy is probably gonna have to look at the performance that Joaquin Phoenix gives in Joker and go like, yeah, that's...
I think he has a really good chance of winning, to be honest.
Yeah.
What about performance by an actor in a supporting role?
So for actor in a supporting role, we have Tom Hanks in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Anthony Hopkins in The Two Popes, Al Pacino in The Irishman, Joe Pesci in The Irishman, and Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
For me, it's hard to kind of like separate the performance with Bradley Cooper. Oh, not Bradley Cooper. Brad Pitt, because I liked his character in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, that was like the best thing in that movie, I think, was his character.
Yeah.
So I really liked the character, but do I think his performance of that character was better than all the other ones? I haven't seen The Irishman yet, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they all do really great. I mean, Al Pacino, and isn't there someone else for The Irishman as well?
Al Pacino and Joe Pesci are both up for The Irishman.
Yeah. Tom Hanks is a little odd for me. I think he did really good in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, but I definitely think you could have possibly like put someone else in there, you know, in place of his spot.
I feel like it's gonna be, of course, like saying this without seeing The Irishman or The Two Popes. I think that the way the Academy is gonna go, it's gonna go Brad Pitt for Best Supporting, and then Best Lead is gonna be Joaquin Phoenix. So I think it's going to be based off of whether or not Leo gets the Oscar for Best Male Lead. Yeah. I think if he gets Best Lead in that, then I don't think they're going to give it to Brad Pitt.
Maybe.
I feel like one or the other.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But I agree.
I can't see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood like sweeping the floor at the Oscars.
No,
I can't see that. I can't see that at all.
I think that Brad Pitt is definitely the stronger out of the two characters in that.
Yeah, definitely. As for The Irishman, I'm sure they all did really great, but I haven't seen it myself, so I can't comment on that. Neither with The Two Popes. I haven't seen that as well.
I would have loved to see Timothée Chalamet get a nomination.
He plays the same character in every movie.
Yeah.
He plays them really well, but it feels like he just plays a different type of iteration of that character, like a very emotionally driven, like moody character.
This is where I would disagree.
I
like him, but I don't know. I haven't seen Little Women yet, so I can't really comment on his performance there. But
I think it was
Do you think it's better to be in this list? Do you think he deserves to be in this list?
Not knowing how 3 out of 5 of these guys act, I can't say, but I definitely would put him on the outside, just like creeping in, because I think that he does deliver a great performance in Little Women. I think that it is like, I mean, I have a little bit of Chalamet fatigue, but it is like, it is. I think he does, like you said, play the same character he always plays, kind of just like a douchey guy. But like,
well, in this one, he gets his heart broken, and in Lady Bird, he breaks Lady Bird's heart.
Yeah, but like, I don't like. I think he's really good in Little Women, but I am okay with him not being nominated.
I feel it. What's up next?
So, performance by an actress in a leading role. We have, I don't know how to say this one.
You just guess it.
Cynthia Erivo for Harriet. Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story. Saoirse Ronan for Little Women. Charlize Theron for Bombshell. And Renee Zellweger for Judy.
It's interesting seeing Judy pop up in these. I was surprised at the Golden Globes that was nominated, because it seemed like that film just kind of came out and left theaters.
Yeah, it didn't really make.
Like, I didn't hear any buzz about it or anything.
The only thing I've heard from it is that Renee Zellweger is perfect as Judy Garland,
and that's what it seems like it's only getting the attention for, not necessarily as, because it didn't get nominated for Best Picture, even though there's another slot in there to put another Best Picture in there. But it does seem like the main thing of that film is her portrayal of that character.
I think it's the same for Bombshell too with Charlize Theron.
Yeah,
that's the only thing
because I don't think Bombshell's really nominated for anything else other than
Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah, Margot Robbie.
Yeah, but you know, the biggest like snub of the whole Oscars season is Lupita. She should have been nominated for us. That is an outstanding performance by an actress, and just the fact that she isn't even on this list is kind of sickening, because she full-heartedly deserves all the praise she gets for us. And I think that it's that idea that like horror movies are never gonna get the respect that they deserve. The acting that went into
Hereditary also.
Toni Collette, I thought that she deserved one.
Yeah, Toni
She
Collette
at least
should
deserved a nomination.
And
Toni
same
Collette
with
should have.
Florence Pugh for Midsommar.
Yeah, and so like you have these great performances by actresses. I think out of Toni Collette, Florence Pugh, and Lupita just above everything else. She probably gave the best performance by an actor in 2019. So the fact that she's left off this list is really disheartening. But on this list, who do you guys like? So we have
I wasn't a big fan of Harriet.
Yeah.
I didn't really get much out of it. I just thought it was like incredibly boring.
They made up a lot of stuff in it too.
Yeah, there was. It seemed like I'm not going to go into a review of it, but it does seem like there's like of weird things that happen. Like, that's really odd. How like this is like the main protagonist. Like, was this protagonist really trying to track her down like all throughout the whole entire story?
For Bombshell, Margot Robbie's character isn't even a real person.
Yeah, she was.
They just added that to the movie.
She was made up for the movie.
Man, I feel like Margot Robbie got like bottom of the barrel stuff. Quentin Tarantino's no lines. This movie made up character.
She did great in I, Tonya. That's my favorite movie.
Yeah, I do like I, Tonya. I think she did amazing in that. I think she did really good in The Wolf of Wall Street as well. I think I mean
she does do really good in The Wolf of Wall Street.
She talks about how like going from like TV acting to like Martin Scorsese
that
acting
was her
alongside
breakthrough,
acting alongside one of the like biggest best known actors in the industry, Leonardo DiCaprio, with those intense scenes in that film. I think that's a really good kind of example of how great of an actress she is to be able to kind of do that and then also portray it in a really good way.
Yeah. So for like lead actress, I would really love to see this either go to Saoirse Ronan or Scarlett Johansson. I think that Saoirse Ronan definitely, like, first off, it's incredible. This is her 4th nomination,
Yeah.
like Oscar
She's not
nomination.
catching up to Meryl Streep though.
But
she's
I think she's
like-
gonna be
like-
our version of Meryl Streep.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
she's like 20 something, and she already has 4 Oscar nominations.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Definitely one of those ideas where like I hate when they do it, but like a makeup Oscar, where you don't give it to her for Lady Bird, give it to her for Little Women.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's how I felt. Leonardo DiCaprio, he got it for The Revenant,
Yeah.
but I feel like he probably should have got it from
Any other movie?
Yeah.
he's
I think
been
that was just like
nominated
makeup
for.
for like all his years of not being
Yeah.
nominated.
So I don't think that's gonna be, if she does win, it's not gonna be a makeup because she's so young. But I think that either Saoirse Ronan or Scarlett Johansson will go home with this one.
Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah. So performance by an actress in a supporting role, we have Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell, Laura Dern in Marriage Story, Scarlett Johansson in Jojo Rabbit, Florence Pugh for in Little Women, and then Margot Robbie in Bombshell. It's crazy how it always feels like the actress fields are just packed. Like
I
they
agree.
are always just so full of just great actresses. I think that I really liked Laura Dern in Marriage Story. I don't think she gets the award, but where do you think it's gonna go?
I actually haven't seen any of these.
Really?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I guess just based off of I've seen a lot of stuff from Marriage Story, so I feel like Marriage Story is one of those good films to where like it really, once you sign on, you really know you're going to be pushing your acting chops and your limits of acting
Yeah.
really far, and it's like you really got to dial in on that character and be invested.
I think if Scarlett gets it for this one, then she won't get lead.
No,
I think
yeah.
it's interesting how
Yeah.
she's nominated for both supporting and lead. I think that's interesting.
Yeah,
I would think it's
especially
interesting
for-
too when actors like best supporting actor. There was 2 for The Irishman. Like there's 2.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting when a film gets nominated twice.
I think it's weird that she was nominated for Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
She's barely in it, and she's fine.
She showed up for
Yeah.
her 2 days of shooting.
I guess kind of looking at this, I would be happy with Laura Dern or Florence Poe getting this one because, I think that it's a little early in Florence's career to where she needs to be given an Oscar, but I think we're on the horizon of where she and Saoirse Ronan are both gonna. It's nuts that they're both in this movie because they're both like on their way up. So next we have what?
Which one did you just read off? Best.
An animated feature film.
Do we want to do that one?
I have not seen this.
To be honest, yeah, that's one of the ones where I'm just like checking my phone to see other people's reactions from the previous awards when animated comes up. Because
I guess like Frozen 2 not getting nominated is pretty big though.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting. I think Toy Story 4, I think that was just a cash grab. I felt like it was just like a very, very long epilogue of part 3. Like they're really stretching. Like I wasn't a fan of it at all. I think it ended perfectly with Toy Story 3, but it was kind of weird how they came out with the 4th one.
I Lost My Body has been on my Netflix list as long as it's been on Netflix, and I really am looking forward to it. I think it's also like it's French and it's an adult animated film, which they always throw one like movie
Sausage
for
Party.
adults.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
All right.
right.
Achievement cinematography. I think that's a...
Okay. So we have The Irishman, Joker, The Lighthouse, 1917, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay, so I feel like The Lighthouse is really interesting. It has interesting context to it in the sense that they were using old lenses to shoot that film. It's shot in like a 4:3 aspect ratio, and it's black and white. which really adds to the film. When you're watching it, I think it really helps immerse you. It's a very out there creative decision that they made with that actually benefited like your immersion in the story to it.
Sure.
So I think I think it's really cool that they're getting the nomination for that. The Irishman, I haven't seen that yet. Joker, I think the cinematography in Joker was really beautiful. I think there's like a lot of stuff where you can just pause the movie and use that as like a wallpaper. I think that's a good time. I also think Godzilla, King of the Monsters, as trash as that movie was, I think it had really good visuals.
Sure. Okay.
I think it had really good visuals.
But like, how much of that was that's like that argument that like people were putting out for Endgame. Like how much of that was just CGI,
or just like the Lion King, the live action one. All of it was technically realistically in CGI. 1917, haven't seen it. Lexi, you have.
Yeah.
That's the one where it's supposed to look like it's all one shot. It's kind of like the Birdman
of this
year.
It has good cinematography, but I think that it's kind of like just like basic fields throughout the whole movie. But when there is good cinematography, it's like really, really good.
There's that really crazy shot in the trailer where they're like, they walk out the door and they're like walking up a hill, and then the plane comes and it falls and then it comes back in. That's
a really
crazy.
Good shot. Yeah.
And then there's also a scene in the trailer where like the guy, it's like the sky's red and everything's burning, and the guy's like walking towards another guy, and then the guy shoots at him, and I'm like, whoa. So and then I saw a video on Twitter where they were doing the field scene where the bombs are going off.
I saw that too.
It's practical.
All right, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I mean, from what I remember, I feel like it had cool visuals, but I honestly don't feel like it was that.
Fun. They weren't really dramatic. They were just kind of like fun, like.
Yeah,
visuals.
they were like cool. They were interesting things to do, but I don't see it as like stunning or like really cool or anything like that.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about like neither of us have seen it, but A Hidden Life came out and it has nothing Oscar wise.
Yeah.
But it's getting. We can't really say it like how good of quality it is based upon like the film itself, but from what the trailer and the reviews and just kind of like what it looks like, I think it looks absolutely beautiful. I think just based off the trailer, I think it could got nominated for a cinematography, or just at least been thrown in there at least.
Yeah.
Taking the place of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I don't really know how the Irishman's cinematography is.
Yeah, I don't.
For me, Scorsese doesn't necessarily capture me on the cinematography. It's more so of just like those tracking shots, kind of like how Spielberg does it, like those one shots of like the character, like those one shots like where he's like walking through his mansion talking about all the drugs he does and like how his day is and all that stuff, and then he gets in the limo, just like those tracking shots of like that.
Sure.
I think those are really interesting and cool, so maybe there's some of that in The Irishman, but yeah, other than that, what else do you guys have to say? Move on to the next.
There is like one shot in Once Upon a Time that like it stays in my head, is like when Sharon Tate is leaving this like theater, and it's just a beautiful like the sun's going down. I think that's just like a great shot. I bet you that's what they're
Dr. Sleep. There's that scene in Dr. Sleep that reminded me of that when the girl's leaving the theater.
I haven't seen that.
Well, it's in the trailer too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's like I got similar vibes with that.
Cool.
What's next on the list?
Costume design?
No. Skip that.
I mean, for costume design, if anything, Little Women will probably get it because it's
I still am proud of Phantom Thread for getting it. All right, achievement in directing nominations.
Yeah, so we have Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, Todd Phillips for The Joker, Sam Mendes for 1917, Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Bong Joon-ho for Parasite.
Haven't seen Parasite.
Still need to see Parasite.
I think that he should get Parasite.
It's up. For me, it's up to like, if it goes to Todd Phillips, I'm jumping out a window. That man is. No, I'm jumping out of a window. I refuse to. I mean, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's fine. Yeah. Like, the directing's fine.
I really enjoy Joker, so if Todd Phillips gets it, I would want it to go to someone else.
The directing in that is...
It's weird.
Terrible.
There's like some...
It's not, like, it... Todd Phillips does this thing where he goes, oh, I'm going to make something look really cool. It's going to be really cool when he's dancing downstairs, or it's going to be really cool when I put him in a fridge. No, it's just dumb. Like, I think there's a difference between, like, actually doing something and then putting in, like, 3 scenes of him dancing and then having a bunch of fanboys on Twitter go, that's a descent into madness. No, it's just Joaquin Phoenix sitting in a fridge.
I get that. Okay.
Yeah. So if it's,
I think 1917 is interesting because to be a director to put on the challenge of trying to make something look like it's one shot.
Yeah.
I can see how that could be very stressful and very hard. And kind of like taking on that task and making it good. I haven't seen it yet, but based on the reviews and like all that stuff, everyone seems to be.
I wouldn't be mad if you got it.
Yeah, I can see everyone. There's overwhelmingly positive consensus of it, so I feel like if that got it, then I wouldn't be that upset.
My whole thing is like it's not about who wins; it's that Joker loses, and that I think that like there are tons of directors you could have put in that spot instead of Todd Phillips.
Makes sense.
I think that, like, the Twitter mob, justifiably Joaquin Phoenix, great acting, incredible performance, incredible character. But to give Joker, I think we're going to probably not end up talking about this, but to give Joker 11 nominations, have them lead, are you kidding me? Just that movie is fine.
I bet they wish they would have pushed their Blu-ray release like a month later so they could slap on all these 11 nominations.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I think that I personally I think you could have given it to either Baumbach or Gerwig. I think that those two are more deserving than Todd Phillips. So I think it's also important that we talk about the fact that, like, traditionally, if you win Best Director, you're not winning Best Picture. And so I think something to watch for on Oscar night is if the director of Parasite, if he wins directing, he's probably not getting Best Picture. And also, now that we're talking about Parasite, also, if they win Best foreign film, they're not going to win Best Picture.
That is, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. All right, and then here for the Best Picture nominees.
Yeah, so we got Ford versus Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then Parasite again. So I think the biggest surprises for me...
I think Parasite's a big surprise.
I don't think it's a big surprise. I've only heard good things about that.
I'm surprised it got nominated. That's what I'm saying.
I think
it could easily just been thrown into the Best Foreign Film
I
category.
think that we're pulling away from that idea, though, like with Roma being nominated 2 years ago. Or no, last year.
Yeah.
Roma being nominated last year, and then this year we have Parasite. I think we're moving closer and closer to where this is just going to be an international list.
I haven't seen all these yet, but I want to say I hope Ford versus Ferrari gets it because I love that movie, or Joker.
Little Women.
I would love it if Little Women got it. I would love it if Marriage Story got it. I have not seen 1917 is also in it. I haven't seen 1917 though.
Joker?
I think that this is maybe an Oscars where we move towards like non-traditional like.
For the past few years, it's been very indie films, and I think especially with last year.
Not Green Book.
Green Book?
Did Green Book win it last time?
Yeah.
This one?
Green Book.
I think any of these winning is a step up from Green Book.
It is. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I feel like they just lowered the bar for it.
Yeah. Like I mean. If Joker won, it'd be a little step up.
Yeah.
I think we are slowly but surely moving away from like anything Martin Scorsese makes has to be nominated. Anything Quentin Tarantino makes has to be nominated.
Is Irishman nominated? Oh, it is.
It is. Yeah, I would love it if Little Women, Marriage Story, one of those two win it. Or I haven't seen it yet. I've only heard good things, but I think it would be interesting if Parasite won.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if it wins Best Picture and Best Foreign Film.
I
don't think it would happen, but I think it would be really interesting if it did.
Yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't want that to happen, because if Parasite won that, then it would just take away, because if you're already giving it Best Picture, then it's going to take away its win.
Exactly.
Any of the other foreign films wins. You know?
Yeah, so I think when you're watching on Oscar night, February 9th, if you see Parasite win Best Foreign Film, it's not going to win Best Feature Film. It's going to be... So, like, who do you want it to be, and who do you think it's going to be?
Ford vs. Ferrari, and I think it's probably going to be 1917. I can see that pulling in, or The Irishman.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lexi?
I would say the same for him, or what he thinks it's going to be, but I would want Little Women to win.
Yeah. I definitely want Little Women or Marriage Story, which is funny. But I think that it will probably end up, like you said, 1917. I could also see where it's like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is just, once again, a Tarantino love letter to Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. There's that type of bias to it.
Yeah, like, the good old days of cinema. And it's not... This one's not critical of cinema. Or it's not critical of the industry. And the way that La La Land was a love letter that's also critical. Mm-hmm. This is not critical to Hollywood. It's like, it's fine. Yeah, I don't want it to be The Irishman. I haven't seen it, but I just want us to move. I haven't seen it, but I just want us to move away from, just because Martin Scorsese makes a movie, just because, he hasn't.
I don't know if Martin Scorsese has made a
movie.
bad movie yet.
I'd have to look.
Yeah, I know Spielberg has.
Yeah,
Spielberg definitely is.
He's been making constantly bad movies the past few years.
Yeah. I don't I know that you're a big Wolf of Wall Street guy.
Yeah, I love Wolf. That's one of my favorite
I think it's a good. I don't think it's
Goodfellas.
Oh, great movie. Yeah. I don't think that
peak Martin Scorsese. I think.
Yeah, I don't think that I don't think Wolf of Wall Street is the end all be all of movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited that Parasite's going to be back in theaters.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I still need to catch that. Thank you all for watching. Join us on Wednesday for the Joker film a masterpiece?
Or just a movie where a guy puts himself in a fridge. Spoiler alert. It's the second thing.
All right, so join us for that, and thank you all for watching.